Hello, Gemini. Thank you for tuning into your love read. For the main part of the read, I'm using the Thelema Tarot by Renata Lechner. For the supportive oracle cards, the magical spell cards by Lucy Cavendish. Relationship first, single second. Oracle cards come out where needed. When I was shuffling, a card did jump out, and we're going to see how it's applied here. It's the Seven of Pentacles, but it is upside down. And I believe it should be upside down for some reason. We'll find out why. But I feel like it's I don't know. Let's see, because I'm questioning where we're gonna stick it. Where are we gonna stick? Where are we gonna stick it? It's the release of something. I feel like it's picking the fruit before it's ready. But I'm also feeling kind of like, you know how you get bananas before they're ready? They're a bit green, and you gotta just let them sit. I want to say you could do that with tomatoes too. There's probably a few other things. I feel like that's what's happening here. Picking the fruit before it's ready, but it will still ripen off the vine. In the sense of like, yeah, you're going into this a little early, but it's still gonna mature. You'll be involved in that a little too early. You'll kind of pull back. It'll still ripen. It'll still get there. That's kind of what I'm first going for. Now, whoever picked it between you and your partner, I kind of feel it was you who kind of went forward a little too early. A little too early. And I'm getting that, like, I really do actually feel you're doing it a little too early. But I also feel like you're going ahead a little too early, but then you're, like, putting it back. It's like you're picking it off the vine and going, oh, no, it's not quite ready yet. And you're putting it to the side and letting it ripen on its own. Your partner, when this happens, when you're getting involved a little too quickly, they just feel like they're subject to the circumstances. And they feel like they're kind of biting their tongue. I feel like a lot of them are biting their tongue. They got the Courage next to the Eight of Swords. It's just kind of like they're subject to the circumstances. They're just kind of holding it in. Spiritually, I do see the Sun card for them. So they're very, like, the situation is the situation. But when it comes to you, they love you. This is just how the ball bounces. I feel like that's how they're looking at it. This is just how the ball bounces. When you go forward a little too quickly, though, I am seeing the Ten of Wands, though, and the Two of Pentacles. It's kind of like, I feel like it's kind of like you're going forward a little too quickly, realizing, oh, that was a bit much. And then just kind of regressing it a little bit, putting it back where it goes, like letting it mature a little more, whatever the situation is. So, but there is some stress on your side. There's a little bit of a stress feeling there because of this. And I'm seeing right below that, the Two of Pentacles, though, it's kind of like, all right, now what do I need to do? What opportunities do I have now? What other angles do I want to use for this situation? It's kind of like, all right, I tried it. It's a little too early. How else can I use this to my advantage? And the first thing that pops into my head is like fried green tomatoes. It's like, all right, sure, they're too raw. They're not ripe enough. That's better. They're not ripe enough, but there's still things that can be done with a situation that's not quite ripe enough yet. There's still opportunities. There's still things I could do. And I feel what this is saying is like, jumping ahead too quickly, yeah, it's a little embarrassing is what I'm getting. And you have to, like, regress a little bit. I do see that just happening, like, quick response. Like, yeah, moved forward a little too quickly, got to back up a little bit. But I feel like that information you gained from moving ahead too quickly, you're using that. And you're thinking about that. Like, what can I do with that? Now that I know how that goes, going in too quickly, what new possibilities could I have because of this new information? Now, I do feel you putting it back. I do. But I also see you kind of like working it over in your mind, like what possibilities are here? Like Geminis are great for that, seeing other angles. The challenge for your partner, though, even though you're moving ahead too quickly and kind of regressing, your partner might just abandon the situation. They're considering it. Whatever that situation is, they might just abandon it. You might be on your own handling it. The thing on your side, what I'm getting, is don't let that happen. If you see that happening, that's when your challenge card kicks in. Pull your partner back in. Make sure your partner is a part of that harvest. If you see them kind of ducking out or disengaging, pull them back in. You need them to be a part of this. Pull them back in. Because what's supposed to happen is they go forward with you. You present different opportunities based on what happened, and a better outcome comes forward. I'm getting the Hierophant should be on their side. You should be working together. You're showing new possibilities. They're showing you the rules they're aware of and how the new possibilities you're showing could safely be applied to this situation. But this should be a joint effort. If you see them backing out, you got to pull them back in. It's your challenge to pull them back in, though. It's their challenge not to back out. It's your challenge if they do to pull them back in. All right? Are good? Okay. What's going to help this situation is when the time is right, when the situation is mature, you're going to go forward with this. But I know it's very interesting because especially with Gemini energy, even a misstep can be a gift. Even if you move forward quite obviously way too quickly, the information you garnered from that is setting up a brighter future for you. It's rare for a Gemini to let information just slip past them and just to discard it without giving it consideration. They usually see a lot of angles. And I feel like this information, sure, it was a bit premature, sure, but you garnered something from it. You gained some information, and you're going to use that to this situation because this is what you, like you're making the best out of it. Lemonade from lemons, there we go. You're making it work. There's like a sticky quality here. Like it's not going smoothly forward. So I'm like, are you getting resistance? That is a resistant energy. And I'm talking easier now that I've said resistant energy. All right, so if your partner doesn't want to see it in that angle, maybe you need to be aware of that. Yeah, you could see the angle. Yeah, you could see the possibilities. Doesn't mean your partner will. You might have to play it a little more smoothly. You might try to present it like, I know that was too quick, but I learned things I wouldn't have learned if I didn't do that. Which is true, but your partner is not... I feel like your partner is not likely to meet you halfway on that. I feel like they're more likely to be like, no, you just should not have done that. I don't believe that's true. I believe you garnered something from it, but I don't really... for the majority of you, I don't think your partner is going to see it that way. So just be aware of that. Don't put yourself in a pickle, or maybe just avoid a conversation that you're not going to enjoy anyway. Because what helps your partner is the Star card and the romance. You did learn something from this, but there's no need to push it forward. I don't really feel like they're open to hearing that. I just don't. But the romance with the optimism with the Star card here, just let them hear what they want to hear at this point. They want to have that love moment. They just want to enjoy your company. I just feel like if you just let it flow in a way that makes them feel good, don't push forward anything that, is going to be a struggling conversation, like trying to say, I learned something from that. I really think it was of value. Even though it's true, and I really do connect in the sense of, like, that's true. I feel like you know them better than that to know if they're going to be open to that or not. And if it's going to be an uphill battle, let it be. Just enjoy time with them. Just let it go smoothly. They want to enjoy time with you. They just want to enjoy the situation. Just move forward. You keep the information. Let them just enjoy this moment. It works out better that way. Good? Because I feel like the reason you would bring that conversation forward is because you want to share that information. If they're not open to it, though, then they're not open to it. You'll just hold on to it. You'll use it when necessary. All right, I think we're good here. Let's go into single Geminis and see what we got for single Geminis. What messages do we have for single Geminis? Messages for single Geminis. What do we have for single Geminis? Messages for single Geminis. What do we have for single Geminis? Messages for single Geminis. I'm not getting like any heads up about where we're going with this, so. Usually like some type of word or something weird will come out of my mouth, some phrase. Not this time. Interesting. Well, okay. Let's see where this goes. That's what I want to say you have a few, 5, I'm going to say, major arcana. 6, maybe? Maybe 6 out of the 10. Maybe more. Actually, how many do you have? Is that one right behind that too? Because there's literally 11 cards that came out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 of the 11 that came out are major arcana. So you might be going through quite the moment here. If this reading hits, it's kind of on its own track, but it's big soul growth moment. Big soul growth moment. Pharaoh. I don't know if you can hear my dog, but he's a bit dramatic at the moment. The World card is the past. You have recently, now recent could be within the last year or so, because people have pointed that out. Yeah, I give you that, especially with the general read, but you're moving on from a period. You're moving on from a time frame. Your life has left one phase, going into another, and this dating time is a product of that, or is definitely affected by that. Even if you moved or changed jobs, something like that, which is that maybe that's your new phase, it's affecting your dating life greatly. And I'm feeling here, where are we going first? Because I do see the Devil card where you're standing. And I'm seeing the 10 of Wands at the top here, like there's a lot of stress. So I feel like there's a lot of stress, but you want to date. I almost feel like you might be going in a direction or towards someone that you know doesn't really match you or suit how you go through life. But even though you know this, even though you see the angles that can't work, you're banking on the angles that could work. This can be a very hypersexual card. It can be. But if it is, it's not about love, it's about lust, if that's what it is. Granted, it's a general read. It's very stressful. You're moving on from something. You want to go into something else. You're looking to find someone. Some of you are very hell-bent. Like, I am sick of being single. I will find someone. And you're very determined. Now, even though you're very determined, I'm getting, for the most part, life is good for you. If this is hitting, at least in the dating arena, life is good, opportunities are there, you're seeing your possibilities, you're feeling good about that. Let's just pick up the cards. There's a lot of good energy here, but this Devil card is saying you might be short-sighted in what you're actually going towards. Because you got the Tower card with the Star card. This Devil card is like, I feel like you're going towards somebody that you know is not a good match for you. I really feel that's what that's saying. And when I'm seeing the Tower card with the Star card, it's very hopeful and optimistic, but somebody seems to be coming into your view. But when I feel them coming into your view, it's not in the most positive of lights. It's just like, there's definitely some red flags here is what I'm getting. With the Tower and the Star, there's a lot of red flags, but you're very optimistic and hopeful that, you know, that's a moment and not a way of life. Because as soon as this person comes in, they're showing you some good... Well, you want their attention. Let's put it that way. And you're ready to show them that attention. I'm getting the 10 of Cups is where it starts. You immediately assimilate yourself into their world in some respect. You get around them, you hang out with them, you connect in the arena that they're used to connecting in. I want to slow... It's sticky energy again. And in the first half, with the relationships, I noticed when this sticky energy came in for Gemini, it meant that something wasn't flowing easily. And maybe I'm going against the grain a little bit. I feel like you're forcing yourself to fit where you don't fit. And that might be just pretending you like something that you don't really like that much. Or, for example, if you're not really an avid bowler, getting involved in getting involved in a league or something like that just because this person is. Just for example. It could be like a book club, and you're just like, well, I don't really like to read that type of book very often. But you're getting involved in this book club to be around this person. It's something like that. You're interjecting yourself into a situation that you really, I feel, don't fit totally. It's not like you completely don't fit there, but like the intensity of the majority of the people there don't match your intensity. They're much more into it than you are. And I feel like you're going towards, again, a person. I feel like you already know this person really doesn't match you, but you're taken by them. You're enthralled. You want to be around them. I'm getting the Sun card again. You're enjoying the fun. You're enjoying the thrill of the hunt is what I'm also getting. It's very exciting. But there's stress here in your life, and I feel like you're relieving some stress by distracting yourself with this endeavor. Endeavor, we're going to call it. Okay. You keep going forward because, like, you're on the hunt. Like, you're literally, I feel like you're on the hunt. Like, I'm going to have a partner. I've decided, and it's going to happen. That's the energy I'm feeling. I mean, general read, but if this is fitting, you're like, I'm going to have it. I want it. I'm going to have it. You got the trust with the Ace of Pentacles here. The Ace of Pentacles is telling me that's this person you're getting involved with. It's telling me what you're seeing is how it is. If you're thinking something's going to improve over time, they're saying it's not. If you're seeing somebody who's got a wandering eye and you're not a fan of that, or they're late, or they're always broke, or there's a hang-up here, there's definitely a hang-up, the Ace of Pentacles is saying this is not going to go away. This is just the beginning of you seeing how, like, it's like the tip of the iceberg. For example, if they're always broke, like, soon you're going to be always broke if you get too deep with them. If they're always late, soon you're going to be late. If they have the wandering eye, like, you're going to see where that wandering eye really goes. It's just the tip of the iceberg. Trust that you're seeing the truth of this situation. That Devil card is really coloring this. Like, I feel like you want this. They're just saying, you got to make your decision. Whatever that is, see it for the truth of it. I've said this to people before. If you're in a relationship, at this point, you're a single Gemini, but if you get involved in this, I've told people in relationships more than not is when I've said this. If you're seeing a situation that you don't like, and it's a behavior the other person has, you first have to accept, like, especially if it's been going on for a while, it's just how it is. It's not going to change. You can't change it, so you either have to accept it and live with it, or move on and disconnect from it. That's usually with more harsher situations, like if somebody's verbally abusive, or somebody's a constant cheater, or something like that. I usually, like, if I'm getting that repetitive energy, and this is a cycle, whatever you're getting involved with, this person, that's how they are. There's no negotiating it out. If you see it for what it is, just see it for what it is and just say it to yourself. This is that person's quality. You either have to accept it and just go along with it, or if it's not for you and you cannot accept it, your only other option is to walk away from it. You can't, this person is not changeable, I'm telling you. What you see is what you get. They're saying trust that what you see is what you get here. It's like if they're broke and they seem like they're constantly broke, they are. And they're going to be. And soon you will be too if you get too deep in this. We went through all the analogies. And I was wondering what this was saying. It's talking more about the patterns of this person's life. I'm not really feeling an earth energy here. It's more of like explaining, like, this is a constant pattern. They will constantly do this. This is not something they can seem to come out of. Some of you are getting involved with people who have substance abuse. And they might be selling you a line of, oh, every now and then I have a moment, but it doesn't last long, and I rebound quick. No. Especially if you're able to find that this person has been dealing with this for years. This is a cycle. You're not going to get out of it. They're not going to get out of it. It makes me really nervous if you're coming across this and it's a substance abuse. Realize you're not going to change this person. You're not. But you are in danger possibly of ending up in this cycle yourself. I have a friend who that happened to. That friend was able to pull themselves out of it, but they still have long-term damage from it. This may be a situation you might want to look at really hard and just really see, like, this is who this person is. You're not going to change them. No. One, either accept it and just go with it. And you're, like, for example, if this person's a cheater or if they're a substance abuser, you either have to go, well, I guess I'm okay with that, and go forward. Just realize that's how this is going to go. If that's a no-go, which if, especially the substance abuse, you're just like, well, I can't live with that. Your only choice is to walk away. You're not going to change this person, I'm telling you. I'm feeling this energy. I know it's a general read, but if you're coming into this and this is really hitting with you, pay attention. You are not going to change this person. I know that's harsh, but it's really coming through strong. They're like, do not be deluded. Do not believe you can change this person. You cannot. You can be deceived. They can play you if you're okay with that. Think about that. Would you rather they play you and make you believe you're having some effect on them that you're really not? Look closely. Because the outcome is going to be judgment. Sooner or later, you will have to leave this situation. Judgment is going to come forward for you. When you decide it's time to walk away, judgment will help you get out of it. When you make that solid decision that this is not for me, it's just, for example, if it's the substance abuse thing and you decide I need to get out of this, and you've gotten like hip deep, maybe neck deep in the situation, it may not be the most enjoyable way that judgment gets you out of this, i.e. some time behind bars. I'm just feeling that for somebody. Be fair warned, especially if you're getting involved with a substance abuser, whatever that substance may be. It doesn't really matter because there's a lot of different ways that can go. Judgment will come and help you get out of it, but it may be some time behind bars, so you just literally can't be around this person and you detox, and then you realize my life is becoming a mess and this is not good for anybody, me or that other person. So just allow judgment to work for you sooner rather than later, and just be like, you know what, I see this person just for who they are. Even if it's the wandering eye. Even if that's all it is. And like some people are like, well, I don't know if I'd say that's all there is, but because to some people that's extremely important, extremely hurtful. That's not something you're into. Like open relationships are a thing, and I think that's why I'm allowing that. Like if you don't care, there's a lot of people out there who don't. They're like, you know what, as long as it's on the level, maybe you're cool with it. And that's your business. That's truly your business. But if they have a wandering eye and you're not a fan of that, see it for what it is. And either just say to yourself, either I have to accept it and that's what's going to happen, or that's completely unacceptable and judgment is saying, well, then you better walk away. And I will help you walk away. That's a very harsh, it's a harsh reading, I feel. I really do. That's the answer, though. That's what we got for this read. General read, we'll see where it goes. I hope that's helpful. For those of you that hits for, I just hope it's helpful. I've said this in other readings. Every sign goes through its up and downs. I don't know. This could be an okay situation. I feel like you're going to hit that moment where you're heading down. And as you're starting to slide down, it's like, how far do you want to go? Because you might just start sliding down and be like, no, I think I'm good. But like that's how it's going to go. Like you're sliding down and kind of like, yeah, I don't think I'm going to do this. Or you can go, and you know, how far you could go to rock bottom if you really want to. I don't know if it's necessary, but if you think it's necessary. I'm going to shut this down here. I hope it helps. All right, so thank you for watching. If you want a direct reading from me, shoot me an email, james4astral@gmail.com. That's James, the number 4, astral@gmail.com. Thank you.